You ever look in the mirror and just not recognize the person staring back at you? Like, you know it's your silhouette. You see your face, you see your eyes, you see your scars. But something feels off. Something feels lost. I think one of the scariest things in life is realizing that you've changed. Not in a glow up kind of way. Not in a look how far I've come type of way. But in that quiet, painful kind of way. The kind where you start to wonder if you're even the same person you used to be. Because sometimes life breaks you down so many times that you start rebuilding yourself with the pieces that you don't even belong to. And it's crazy how change doesn't happen all at once. It sneaks up on you. It's the small moments, skipping a hobby you used to love, cutting off people who once made you feel alive, pretending you're fine when you're not. And then one day, you wake up and you don't even recognize your own reflection. You start asking yourself, when did I stop being me? When did I start acting like someone I swore I'd never become? When did I lose my spark, my laughter, my sense of direction? And the worst part is, nobody really warns you about this. They tell you change is good, that it is growth, that it's a part of life. But they don't tell you that sometimes growth feels like grief. Grieving the version of you that used to feel whole. I think pain changes people in ways that words could never describe. You don't even notice it while it's happening to you. You just sort of adapt. You learn to build walls, to stay quiet when you want to scream, to say I'm good when you're anything but that. And all those little lies stack up. Every I'm fine, it's whatever. Every single time you convince yourself that you don't care, until you start believing it. You stop recognizing your own voice. You stop recognizing what makes you truly happy. You start existing instead of living. Sometimes I avoid mirrors, not because I hate how I look, but because I hate what I see. I see the exhaustion in my eyes, the forced smile that hides 1,000 thoughts. I see someone who's trying to hold it together but doesn't even know why anymore. And that's the part that scares me the most, because it's not about losing other people. It's about losing yourself. That's the kind of loss nobody prepares you for. But maybe that's why life really is a constant battle of losing and finding yourself. Maybe we're supposed to fall apart sometimes so we can rebuild ourselves stronger. Maybe it's okay to look in the mirror and not like what you see. As long as you don't stop trying to find the real you underneath it all. Because the truth is, you're still in there, buried under the stress, the heartbreak, the disappointments. But still, you're just breathing. It's okay if you're not who you used to be. It's okay if you're still figuring it out. It's okay if all you did today was survive. But you know what's crazy? Sometimes you spend so long pretending to be okay that when you finally start healing, you don't even know who you are without the pain. Like, who am I if I'm not the one always trying to fix everything? Who am I if I'm not the person carrying all this weight? healing almost feels uncomfortable at first. You start realizing how much of yourself you gave away, just trying to keep people or situations from falling apart. You start realizing how much you tolerated because you didn't want to be alone. You start realizing how much of your identity was built on survival. But that's where it gets real. Because relearning yourself isn't about going back to who you were. It's about figuring out who you actually are now. It's sitting with your mistakes and saying, yeah, that was me. But it's not all of me. It's forgiving yourself for the things you did when you were just trying to cope. You start taking baby steps. You start rediscovering what makes you feel alive again. The music that still hits deep. The late night drives that clear your head. The people who don't need you to be perfect to love you. And little by little, you start realizing maybe you were never lost. Maybe you just outgrew the version of yourself that couldn't see your worth. And that's a beautiful thing. It doesn't erase who you were. It helps you meet yourself all over again. Change can be terrifying because it makes you confront everything you buried. All the anger, all the guilt, all the sadness, all the fear. But underneath all of that, there is someone there. There is a human being. There's someone who is honest. There is someone who has been waiting for you to stop pretending. And maybe that's what this whole journey is about. Not finding yourself, but creating yourself. Not holding on to who you were, but honoring who you are becoming. Because one day, you'll wake up and you'll realize the version of you that you were so scared to lose was never meant to stay forever. You'll look in that mirror and finally see someone who's been through hell but still has light in their eyes. Someone who's softer but stronger. Someone who finally understands that becoming someone new doesn't mean you've changed for the worse. It means you made it. You survived. You did it. And that is something to be proud of. If you've ever felt like you're becoming someone you don't recognize, I want you to take a deep breath. I want you to know you're not broken. You're evolving. Change isn't always pretty, but it's so necessary. And even when you feel lost, even when you feel like a stranger in your own skin, that doesn't mean that you're gone. It just means that you are still searching. So keep searching, keep fighting for yourself, because one day you'll look in the mirror again, and this time you'll see someone you chose to become. And that right there is life's way of telling you who you are supposed to be. Thank you, everyone. Remember, as always, stay Rohly.